Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Alhambra Reserva 1925. This is a European strong lager coming in at 6.4% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome back to End of the Day Beer Review. Today we are looking at Alhambra Reserva 1925. This is a European strong lager, and I have to admit right off the bat, I've had this before. I was actually down in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale in October, and I was at a local restaurant and I asked for a beer recommendation, and the very knowledgeable waiter recommended this. With a little apprehension actually, because he said it was super strong at 6.4% ABV. But I like high ABV beer, so 6.4 didn't seem like much. Let's crack this open. Now, this is an import, and it is overflowing rather quickly, so that's sort of a shitty pour. Sorry about that. We'll let that settle for just a second. Let's just go back. I actually had to look this up, and it says that my phone is not working. Okay, so it's a full-body Pilsner with an intense character and a reinterpretation of the amber lager. So that's what we have here. Now, when I popped this, the carbonation was really over the top, in my opinion, which I don't remember it being that way when I had it last time. But we have a nice amber sort of lager there. White head, you know, like 2.5 fingers worth of head, which I have to say, I blame myself for that. I poured this badly and then almost dropped the bottle. I would love to read off the bottle, but because it is that green and the text is sort of hidden, it's really, really hard to read anything about this. The bottle is a beautiful green color. I mean, this would be one of those bottles that, you know, you break up and you throw into like one of those sand tumblers to make like sea glass out of, because the color really is so pretty. It sort of reminds me of, well, I mean, it's bottle green, so, you know, great color. All right. And it smells like a Pilsner, a basic cereal aroma to it, that yeastiness that you normally get. Very little bit of hop on the back end of the nose here. You know, but nothing overwhelming. And you know, normally my beers or my beer choices lean towards the darker beers. And I don't really go for many Pilsners, at least not for the channel. Mostly because, you know, when I'm drinking a beer for beer's sake, I go for the stouts. There's more flavor. Let's see what we have when we drink it. Now, it's funny, when I was drinking this last in October, one of the other people at the table said to me, well, what's it like? And I said, it's sort of like drinking a Heineken if a Heineken had flavor. And that's sort of what you get here. There's a good amount of that cereal flavor, a good amount of yeastiness mid-tongue, a nice little hop bitterness on the back of your tongue, but not in a bad way, and it's not a cumulative type of hop effect. So like as you're sitting there drinking it, it's not like that bitterness is building up on the back of your tongue. I will say this, you can't taste the alcohol in this at all. It's almost like there's none. So when you actually drink this, it's very crisp, it's very refreshing. Carbonation is perfect. It bursts on the back of your tongue to sort of bring out that sort of cereal yeast taste with, you know, yeah, it is. It's sort of the aftermath of like it's going to be a weird reference. I don't know if you've ever had the cereal, and I don't know if the cereal still exists. It was called Crispex. It was like half corn, half wheat. And I don't know if any of that's in this, but that's what I'm sort of getting. Sort of a little hint of sweetness mixed in with that sort of like cereal sort of wheatiness that's there also. Yeah, this is infinitely crushable. I could easily finish this beer during the review because it does go down so smooth. And quite honestly, 6.4% ABV is not particularly low, so the alcohol is not overwhelming you as you drink this. Which, I mean, 2 or 3 of these and you could be in a bad place. So, you know, would I rate it as a dangerous beer? Not really. I'd probably rate it as a beer to be aware of. You know, like if you have 2 of these, you know, well, I mean, I'd consider before I had a second one of these if I was going to drive. Because again, it's the type of thing that could get away from you because it is such a light and easy tasting beer. Would I buy it again? Quite frankly, I have bought it again. You know, I had this in a restaurant once and I hunted it down when I got home at Total Wine. Unfortunately, of course, Total Wine has taken out their beer sections, which I think is just ridiculous. So I don't know what the availability of this is going to be in my area again, although I will request it. So would I buy it again? Yes. Yes, I would. And I think it goes for about $14.99 for a 4-pack of this beer. And is it worth it? Yeah, it's a bargain. It is easy drinking, tasteful, good mouthfeel to it, good lasting flavor in your mouth from the beer. So is this one I would buy again in a second. I also know they have other styles coming from this particular brand. So not only would I try this again, but if I encounter it in one of the distributors in my area, you know, I would also look for the other offerings that this particular company has to offer. So again, this is Alhambra Reserva 1925. I'm sure I'm butchering that and I apologize, but I am just not great when it comes to names. And again, it's coming in at 6.4% ABV. This is an easy drinking beer, just an enjoyable beer to actually consume. Would I recommend it? Wholeheartedly. I think it's one of those beers that if you see it in a restaurant, get it. Don't even give it a second thought. If you see it on a shelf, I would pick it up. It's definitely worthwhile. Again, not the normal fare for the channel because it is, you know, this Pilsner. But I have to tell you, I think it's fantastic. And it's definitely one of those beers where if I was looking for a refreshing, crisp beer on a hot day, this would be a great one. And actually, you know, like finding it in Florida, it hit that bill perfectly. And translating that into New York on February 1st or 2nd, it's still a really, really good drinkable beer, even though it's like 30 degrees outside. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you had, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. I'm going to go back and enjoy the rest of this, although it probably is not going to take me very long because, like I said, this is an easy drinking beer. I'll see you next time. Cheers.